Hey, I'm Nicole Row, and this is the Fender American.Pro 2 jazz bass. I'm a touring bass player and local session player. Currently play with Panic at the Disco. My first impression, plugged it in and just started digging into it, and that's a sign that I'm vibing with it. The tone is classic jazz, a lot of punch, a lot of pop. I found like the natural playability very simple. I could easily tackle some, complex things on it right when I sat down. It felt really natural. The look of the bass gives me like stage vibes. It's got the Dark Knight finish on it, which is super cool. It's like black and blue. And then you've got this sort of aged maple look of the neck, which is actually my go-to. The maple is nice and bright, nice and crisp. The American.Pros have this thing called supernatural satin finish. So it's a nice blend between completely unfinished and raw and your normal like gloss finish on the back, and it just gives you a bit more of a smooth playability without aging too fast from all your oils and stuff, still protected. Along with the supernatural finish, they've added the rolled off edges on the neck right here, and they've also added this carve out down here in the body. So when you go up high, you have a little bit more leverage to tackle those high range notes. And then you've got, of course, the glossy headstock up here to kind of match your body. The bridge adds for a lot of sustain in combination with the pickups. You can go through the body or top load here. The V-Mod 2 pickups here, in my opinion, they just add a lot of punch and color to the natural tone of the bass. So I did a couple different tests with the pickups, and when I had everything rolled on, it was just super powerful, super beefy, but also really clear. When I rolled to the bridge pickup, it was really nice, kind of funky staccato, sound that I love. And then when I rolled to the neck pickup, really offered like a bunch of warmth. That's where you can kind of get that low, like more uprighty, smooth sound. The jazz bass was the first bass that I would say I worked professionally with. For me at the time, the playability with the jazz neck is super slim. And also just, the classic sound of the Fender Jazz worked really well in all of these like sessions and like local, shows I was doing around town. Like I only had that one bass for years throughout my career. It's just a very specific touch that I have with it now, and I always revert back to it. For me, jazz bass kind of holds a special place in my heart for more of the funk pop stuff, whereas the P is more classic Motown-y sound. They're both iconic because they have their own individual sounds that they offer, hence why I have both. So when I was kind of studying and coming up in bass, I got really into Motown, funk, and a little bit of like R&B soul, and I think that's kind of home base, in my opinion, for the jazz bass. The song that I played is called Co-op, and it's an original song by me. It's really just like an expression of my feelings and emotions during, being quarantined. The really smooth, easygoing vibe of honestly just trying to find a calm place. It's called Co-op because it was kind of a community experience where I kind of brought it to different people and had them add their take on it, and that's how it all came to be, and it's really special to me for that reason. My main bass is a jazz bass, and I know it's gonna sound good all the time. It's my studio instrument, and it's also my stage, travel bass. The American.Pro 2 came through with a lot of, really nice alterations to the sound, like a lot of clarity, a lot of punch. It's really important to have an instrument that kind of checks all those boxes of tone, playability, and workhorse strength.